Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jay, and today I'm going to be talking about the Philadelphia Eagles, my favorite NFL football team, and their 2022 season preview. As their preseason wrapped up last night, they lost to the Dolphins 41-10, and I'm going to talk about what they did in the offseason and what to expect this year from this team, and what are the losses, and who is going to be in the hot seat, and what's my season preview going to be like for this team. They look good. Now, we go up from last year that they did make the playoffs. They had more of a running attack at the end of the year, but they eventually lost to the Buccaneers. So, but this offseason, they have a good offseason. This was a good offseason. So, move the additions they lost. They lost Steven Nelson. They lost Gerard Avery, Jason Kroom, Nathan Higbee, Jordan Howard, Ryan Kerr, Rodney McLeod, Hans Ridgway, and Alex Singleton. Those players are no longer Eagles. The key additions they got was pass rusher and linebacker Hans Reg from the Arizona Cardinals, who helped this team pass rushing last year. Last year, the Eagles did not get much pressure on the quarterback. They were behind in sacks, which is not something you don't see from Philadelphia. So now they're getting Hanson Reddick in, and they're getting Brandon Graham back, so that's going to help with the pass rush. So the Eagles made a big splash in this year's draft by trading for A.J. Brown, give weapon to Jalen Hurts, his best friend. They also signed McCain, Zach Pascal, and Kaiser White. Kaiser White had a good year with the Chargers. Now he's going to help with the linebacking core of that Eagles. Zach Pascal could be a third receiver of this team if he makes it. So right now this team is built. So let me go ahead and talk about what they did in the draft real quick. I'm using this Lindsay Sports. Okay, so what the Eagles did with their first pick before they made the trade to get A.J. Brown, they had an extra pick. They traded up excuse me, to get Jordan Davis. Apparently the heir to Fletcher Cox. He is going to be basically replacing Fletcher Cox most likely next season. It depends if Fletcher is coming back for another year or not. They did release him and brought him back to a one-year deal. So Jordan Davis, the first pick in the draft, and they made the trade to get A.J. Brown. He was next pick to get Cameron Jurgens, who's a good offensive lineman out of Nebraska, who's most likely going to replace Jason Kelce if Kelce is likely going to retire next year or he leaves to Philadelphia. But he's going to be a fine addition to the team. Eagles drafted in the third round. Kobe Dean, one of the better linebackers in the draft, who's going to have a bright future ahead of him. And I've seen they're comparing him already to a former New Orleans Saints linebacker. So it's going to be interesting. They also added Kyron Johnson and Grant Calete at tight end. So they did very well in the draft. So what does this mean for the Eagles? Pressure is now on Jalen Hurts in this offense. You gave him weapons. You got his best friend as his number one. You had Devontae Smith back, who had led the team in receiving yards as a rookie. So you brought him back. He's giving you number two. You have Dallas Goedert, who's your number one tight end, who basically to replace Zach Ertz, they traded to the Arizona Cardinals. So this team is now relying on Jalen Hurts to carry this team further into the playoffs. So the defense got better, defensive line got better, linebackers got better, and now you added another player, Brandon Bradbury, I believe, with Darius Slay. So you got a nice 1-2 combo. So now with this secondary, with this team, the only question is, can Jalen Hurts go to the next level and make this team a very competitive, better competitive, but he may make a deep playoff run? It depends. We have to see. They still need to run the football. They cannot be pass happy like they were beginning of the year until they decide to run the ball more. I mean, you can't have your quarterback leading the team rushing yards neither behind Miles Sanders. You need to feed Miles Sanders the ball more. So it's going to be interesting. So he's very much Jalen Hurts. This is make or break year, or you're going to be. It's either you make it, you did expectations, and you're the starting quarterback. If not, you're going to be the backup. Because I have a feeling that with the Eagles having two draft picks for next year's draft and quarterback heavy, it will not shock me they go get a quarterback for the future. So now, when you look at the Eagles, what they did, basically they improved their linebacking core, they improved their defensive front, they improved their offensive line, they got upgraded wide receiver, a veteran receiver. So this team looks like they could make a deep playoff run if everything goes according to their plan. So it's just like I said, it's come down to Jalen Hurts, it's come down to injuries, it's come down to how the team plays overall. Since preseason now done, I don't really count it. It's just an evaluation of players trying to make a team, rookies getting their feet wet. So it's going to be interesting to see this team going forward in 2022. So let's go ahead and talk about who they have in this year's schedule. So the Eagles start off the first game in Detroit at week 1. I think they will win week 1 to start the year. In week 2, they're home Monday night against Minnesota. It's against Kirk Cousins. That could be a toss-up, but I think they'll get the job done in week 2 and beating Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. I think it can be done. The week 3 matchup, what people will be watching, is going to be the Eagles against the Commanders, the Washington Commanders. It's going to be Jalen Hurts versus former Eagles quarterback Carson Wentz. So it's going to be an interesting game between these two. The storyline between these two, Carson Wentz playing against Philadelphia and Washington. So I think the Eagles will get the win in Washington in this game. The next one is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars against Trevor Lawrence. I think the Eagles will pick up a win there. They make them 4 wins in a row, and then they go to travel at Arizona against Kyler Murray. I think the Arizona Cardinals will give the Eagles their first loss, or not their second loss. It could, like I said, the Minnesota game could flip either way, but I think this will be an interesting test. So Eagles lose to Arizona. They're home against Dallas Sunday night. I think they'll take care of business at home against Dallas and go 5-1. And then the bye week, then they go home, back home. They stay at home and play the in-state rival Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers have basically, you could say they're kind of rebuilt. No Big Ben, so it depends who the starting quarterback. I think it's probably Mitch Trubisky. I think and against the TJ Watt in that defense, I think the Eagles will get it done. Steelers have never I can't recall the Steelers ever beating Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. I think the Eagles will get it done yet again, but it will be a very good game nonetheless. They go to Houston. I think they'll take care of business there in Houston. The Monday night game where Carson Wentz comes back to Philadelphia with the Commanders, I think he'll steal one, because this is basically a revenge game for Carson Wentz to prove that he is still a legit quarterback. I think Washington will shock the Eagles in this one. When Carson Wentz, it wouldn't surprise me. So I have the Washington and Philadelphia teams splitting, and the Eagles would go travel to Indianapolis, face Matt Ryan. I think Indy will get the win there. Green Bay, that's easy. Green Bay, how are you going to shut down Aaron Rodgers? I think Green Bay will get the win there as well. Tennessee Titans, can they shut down Derrick Henry? It's going to be a close one. I think Tennessee will get against A.J. Brown. I think A.J. Brown will get his revenge against Tennessee, but I think the Titans might squeak out a win there. Against the Giants, I think the Eagles will handle Daniel Jones very well. They will get the win there. Chicago with the one-year veteran, I think the Eagles will get the win there. I think they'll lose to Dallas in Dallas because they always have a good rivalry. I will split the Dallas game. New Orleans, I think they won't beat the Saints because the Saints always been beating the Eagles. And the last game against the Giants, the Eagles will take care of business there. that should put them close to the playoffs, put them in the playoffs. But it's going to be interesting to see how this team is going to play. I'm just going by what I see. It could be tossed up either way. The Eagles could have a good season or a bad season. It's up to how this team plays on the field. We have to see how it is on Sunday. Coming up soon on September 11th, and plus they got to make the final adjustments to who makes the team and not. But that's my preview. I think, like I said, win against Detroit, win against Minnesota, win against Washington. Jacksonville the way and lost to Arizona makes 4. Cowboys makes 5. Steelers 6-1. Houston 7. Washington makes 7-2, 7-3, 7-4, 7-5, 8-6, 8-7. Well, you get what I'm saying. I'm trying to keep track here, but it's not easy to do. But I think the Eagles will make the playoffs. It's going to be tough, but can they go deep? It just depends on the team, all the team overall. You just can't pull it at one guy. It's the whole team. It's the whole team. Plus, we don't know how the injury is going to be, like I said. I think they'll make the playoffs, but I'm not going to hold my hat high. Are they going to go deep? No, I don't think so. They need more help. I mean, they're going to be competitive. I can see them go maybe win a game in the playoffs, then that's it. Because you have to remember Green Bay, New Orleans, Rams, Buccaneers, Cowboys might be in it. Cowboys are fighting it. You never know about Minnesota. It's going to be a tough. Seattle's on rebuild. San Francisco could be making their way back in. So who knows how this season's going to be. But overall, I think the Eagles could make the playoffs if Jalen Hurts has a step up year from last year. He can't be the same Jalen Hurts from last year. If the Eagles do run the ball more beginning of the year before they were like last year, I think they'll be better this year than compared to last year. So it's going to be interesting to see. So it's going to be interesting. This has to be stay healthy. First thing, the first team needs to stay healthy. Second, Jalen Hurts needs to step up. Third, they need to continue running the ball. And fourth, got to take less penalties. And 5, get to the quarterback. So yeah, that is my season preview, 2022 season preview of the Philadelphia Eagles. If you like this video, please leave a like, comment, and also please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I'd like to thank all my subscribers for subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing, and viewing. Without you, I won't be doing these. So thank you, everybody. Hope you have a safe and wonderful Sunday, and I'll see you next time. Take care, stay safe, stay humble, and be a blessing. Fly, Eagles, fly.